What's up, people? Today we are trying a few things. Number one, I went ahead and threw some new props on my drone. The ones that were on there were still okay. They were just a little raggedy, a little jagged, and they probably weren't very balanced. I figured, you know what, we're going to do some changes and make some slight adjustments. So let's throw some fresh props on there so we get a great outcome. I also updated my rates a little bit. I turned them up just a bit so they'd be a little quicker on the maneuvers. We'll see how that turns out. Also, as you can see, I got the little patch. This is the Eachine Sting Pad along with a circular polarized antenna that we're going to try on the new Eachine EV100s. Hopefully that blackout issue I was having won't show itself today. I mounted my GoPro a little differently, hopefully to get a little bit more stable footage. The way it was mounted before, it was a little wobbly, a little bouncy, so hopefully this will help it out. Not to mention the new fresh props should help take care of any little vibrations. So that being said, let's get in the sky. Everything okay? So I'm still noticing, and hopefully you could have seen it in the little DVR footage, there is some weird flickering going on. It's doing a type of flicker that it did not do when I was wearing my Fat Shark. So I can only assume it's related to these EV100s. Honestly, these antennas, they don't seem to really do a whole lot more than the dipole antennas. So they seem about the same to me. I can't tell a difference. Alright guys, that was my last pack. My final thoughts on these EV100s. They're okay, but they're not really that dependable in my opinion. I don't trust them. I probably will continue to use them for a little bit, just hoping these little bugs will hash out. By the way, the firmware, I could not figure out how to update it. I did see some videos where you could buy a firmware, an upgrade kit. You gotta solder the chips and all this, and I'm not going through all that. If you already have Fat Shark teleporter V5s, I'd say keep using them because they're a little more dependable than these. When you get these, I've heard so many stories already. You don't know what you're getting. You know that you're getting a cheaper make, a cheaper brand, but you don't know what the problems are going to be with that. The problems I'm having with it, I haven't seen a whole lot of people mention. I've heard other problems, but you know, I'm sure there's lots of cases like that where everybody has their own specific problems that they're having. And it might not be a very common problem, but it's still that inconsistency, that independability, that's the problem. And that's what you're gonna buy. When you get Fat Sharks, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get dependability. They might be cheap, it might be a small screen, it might not be that great. The picture might not be as beautiful and clear and crisp as it is in these, but they are dependable. They've never failed me. And these have failed me a couple times. Once a little while ago, you know, I was complaining about the blackout issue where my screen would go dark and stay dark. This time it went white for a second. It came back, but it did go white and then it started flickering. I hope it shows up in the DVR. My advice is it's a risk. Anytime you're going to buy something that's cheap, way cheaper than everything else, it's a risk. And the chances of you getting it and it being perfect, it's a possibility. The chances of you getting it and something being wrong or it not being perfect, that's a greater possibility. And so that's what I'm going to say. If you want to buy these EV100s, go for it. If you have the money or the patience and you want to wait and get you something a little better, then spend money on the higher end goggles. It doesn't have to be Fat Shark. What are they called? Amway Commanders or whatever. I hear those are great. They're expensive as hell, but you know, you get what you pay for. In many cases, that's the bottom line. That's what it comes down to. Like I said, I'll probably keep still using these as long as I can use them. I probably will, because they are a little bit better than as far as the picture, and maybe I'll just have to deal with that unreliability of the screen flickering. I mean, worst case scenario, it goes dark when I'm in the sky and I have to fall down and crash. You know, I crash all the time, so it's not a real big deal. That's my advice, and that's my flight for the day. Oh, I did adjust my rates, and I do like them a lot better. See, before I was having issues where I'd roll and I'd push it all the way over, but it just seemed to take way too long for it to get back to a horizontal state. So I upped my rates for my pitch and roll. This is what I put my rates at. PIDs, everything else is pretty much stock. I do have anti-gravity on. These are my RC rates, my super rates, and my expo. This is what I have it set up now, and it's pretty nice. I do like the smooth, sluggish, slow. That's why I added the expo, because I wanted to maintain some of that ability to keep it smooth. But at the same time, if I pushed all the way over on my stick, I wanted it to roll a lot faster, and I did get that effect, as you can obviously clearly tell in the video. So that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Advice on the EV100s, it's a risk. Take it if you want. It's not a horrible deal. It does have some problems. It's not perfect. Is it better than the Fat Shark goggles? In some ways, yes. In other ways, no. As far as the teleporter V5s in comparison. Is it better than the Dominators or the True H or any of the other high-end goggles? No, not a chance. No way in hell. It's a decent goggle for a cheap price. Right now, I don't trust them, but I like them enough to keep using them. So whatever that says. That's my review for the goggles. That's my experience on the updated rates and the new props. So anyways, guys, that's it. Like and subscribe. Caps out.